Okay, we have the blue book in hand, and we're starting way toward the back, and our first shot is the drum line. Okay, so we have the drum line from probably about, what year you think that is?
Second year, maybe.
Second year. And a shot of the horn line, but not a great shot of the horn line.
No,
all in black and white. Do you know where this is taken?
It's a bad Polaroid.
Is it a gym?
This was the skating rink.
That's the skating rink. Okay.
And I think that was Keith Markey.
No.
Can't see him, but
Still
I think
can't
that
see
was
him,
him.
but you think that's it. Well, And then we have another shot of the horn line. Yep. The baritones.
And this was one of the, I think the second year banquet. Because of the blue and white flags, we draped them over there and then put all the trophies that the Corps won that year up.
Fantastic. And then we have a shot of, I don't know who we have here.
I think that's Dan and the mayor of Auburn. Stan Kersey, I think.
That sounds like the right name.
Sounds familiar. Oh, and these two tiny little pictures down here is our first wedding anniversary at a camp.
Oh.
They threw us a party. It was wonderful.
That is nice. And more shots from that first
anniversary.
And then we have a picture of Dan on the field, on the track, with his arms out.
And I think that was down in Sumner, at the stadium that the show's going to be at this year. Him and his baby blue jacket again. Dapper Dan.
And a shot of the field. Then we have the shot of the side of the equipment truck, which was so well done. The artwork on that is so done so well by Carol Cook's dad. I think his name was Gene. Was that right?
Yes, I think it was Gene. Yeah, it's a good memory.
Oh, I've heard it more recently.
I think that was Mr. Gwynn's truck.
Dave Gwynn's truck.
Yeah, his dad's truck. Carl.
Oh, well.
Carl.
Probably was acquired at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And shot of the equipment truck again. And then we have at the very bottom the proud brown and gold bus, when they were still looking pretty good before we completely trashed them. Then another parade in the rain.
Roddles.
So
wasn't this? Yeah, this was in Auburn.
Like Auburn.
Yep, Roddles.
And coast to coast, I think that might be. I'm not sure. No, it says apparel, doesn't it? Okay.
Yeah, it's Roddles.
Okay. And is that Rusty, maybe? I don't know.
Yes, that is Rusty.
A shot of the truck and the beater bus in the background.
I believe that truck is Mrs. Sly's truck.
Okay.
Then we have a picture of Carol, Tim Anderson's wife, and she was pregnant with their first child.
And the bottom picture?
That was on our way to Casper, Wyoming. I believe Tim was marching and Carol was instructing. And having a baby.
And
There's a picture of Tim and his Pinto.
I was going to say Pinto. I couldn't read it particularly, but that's what it looked like
Baby
to me.
blue Pinto, and we had just crossed the Wyoming state line. And he was very excited.
It was beer 18. Is that the age or something from Wyoming? Maybe, possibly.
I don't know.
Oh, and then we have Highlanders in the back, proudly displayed the back of his Pinto.
That Pinto was it got around a lot.
Here's a dark picture of some people.
I believe that was down in Casper, Wyoming, and
Drums along the Rockies.
I can make out Carol, and I think it's Kathy Shinbo.
In the front?
Yeah, in the front, and the other person, I'm not sure who that is, on the left.
I'm going to say it's Keith Markey. The pictures are just getting better. This guy. Okay, and then, so this is in Wyoming someplace?
I believe that was on that trip, yeah. This was the little bighorn.
Little bighorn there on the bottom with the teepee.
And the color guards' quarters where they were staying.
Quarters,
somewhere.
you call it, huh? Quarters.
Yes.
Mhm.
Quarters, nickels, dimes, whatever we could get.
We called ours the swamp. After the MASH TV show.
Yeah.
And this is another hanging out in some school,
Girls.
probably.
Yeah.
And the bottom picture is a fine picture of Blake Miller on the swing set.
He was my buddy. That was in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. That was when the Kilties taught our drum corps some bad habits.
That's where it came from. Blame it on the Kilties. I like
No,
that.
they did. They did.
I know.
And-
I heard they stole our jig. So they took-
I don't know about that, but they taught some bad things, and everybody ended up staying up all night that night before we were headed home. Enough said.
Enough said. Enough said. Okay, and so we also have another shot outside in some swing sets.
Yeah.
And on the
That's-
field.
On the field in Glenwood Springs, Colorado.
Another shot of the horn line on the field. Back when we were doing gates and wheels. Know my gates and wheels very well. Cover and dress. And then we have the second picture
That's
on that
Troopers.
page of the Troopers.
Yeah.
A couple of shots of the Troopers. And another shot of the Troopers. And then, of course, the famous bottle dance by the Vanguard. And another shot of the Vanguard.
That was when I had somebody from the Vanguard teach me how to do double time on a rifle.
Cool.
Yeah, when we were down there, I approached one of them and I said, "Will you teach me how to do double time?" She said, "Okay." So she taught me how to do it. And I took it back to our color guard. And they learned.
Okay, and here's a
Kilties.
shot of the Kilties. More Kilties. And
Black Watch in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, leaving the field.
All right.
The next one is the Imperials.
I thought that might be an Imperials.
And I have no idea where that was taken. And the ones with the dark uniforms, that was the Black Hawks out of the Hawks out of Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
The Hawks.
All right. I think they had Jerry or Meisenheimer. Can't think of his first name right now.
Yeah, that's Dan out in front of some museum. I think that was Greenfield Museum. Greenfield. Oh my gosh, it was back in Michigan. We were back in Michigan. That's when we were staying just inside a bad area. We never stayed in bad areas, but we were in a bad area. They had certain mile roads, and if you got inside the mile roads, you were in trouble. And we were.
Okay. And
Yeah, Greenfield Village, that's what it was called. God, where'd that come from? And we have
some laundry day.
Yep, Sandy Wilson and Patty Laux doing their laundry.
Who's driving? Do we know?
That is Tim Anderson
Okay.
and Dan.
Dan.
And I was in the
What
next.
lovely legs he had.
They're scrawny. But I took the picture here, and if you put them together, you had my
Yeah,
view from the back
the
seat.
Yep, sounds great.
And playing pig pile.
Pig
you know.
pile. Oh yeah. On the road, and then here we are with the buses getting loaded. I mean, the buses were getting loaded, not the kids.
No,
Not this time.
never.
And then we have a great picture here of Gary Jimstead with goggles on, and it looks like he has on his chest that same. Oh no, this is the same design.
No, it's a different one.
Slightly different design. But is it something with the Black Watch? I take it. I don't know. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. And boy, look at those racks. Are those full of stuff or what? Do we know who this person here is on the far right?
Oh, Penny something. I think her name was Penny. Penny Lapthorne? I don't know why that's sticking in my head, but
Okay. A shot of all the equipment truck and bus and
yeah.
all the vehicles.
I have the feeling in that picture we were waiting for somebody to catch up to us or something.
That did happen once in a while. Something would be a little slower than something else, or some situation.
We never lost anybody, though.
Oh, wait, no, you weren't in that year, I don't think. Well, maybe you were, I don't know.
What?
We did lose Pat Shue at a rest stop.
Yes.
But
And
we did go back for him.
you did retrieve him.
So we didn't lose anybody permanently, which
No,
is
no,
good.
not
That would be good.
permanently.
Although there was a couple that we tried to
Leave behind.
send back. I think we might have even actually sent someone back on one of those, because it was
Oh.
always a rough deal to send somebody back on tour. But
On tour, we did send 2 people back one year. And that was because they were just,
too out of line.
yes,
Just-
they were way out of line.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I remember making the phone call. Send money for your kid. We're going to leave them here.
Wow, that's intense.
They were bad.
Yep.
And this is down in California somewhere on the beach.
Okay, can you tell me who anybody is?
Yeah, we have Joyce Barrett on the left, Jimmy Waugh on the right, and Dan
On the far right.
on the far right.
Okay.
Everybody went in for a dip.
And then we got Mount Rushmore. And then we've got
Everybody
everybody
oogling.
oogling at Mount Rushmore. And then we have, I don't know.
That was on the Mount Rushmore trip also. That was someplace that we stopped. In the bottom picture, we...
Kind of a western town thing, huh?
Yeah. Liz?
Okay, yes.
Liz, Dan, and Steve, Tony, maybe, and I think that was, oh shoot, I can't remember now, but yeah, they were playing with a donkey,
Nice.
and that's all I'm gonna say.
Back off my, yeah, okay.
Yeah, get off.
All right, thank you. Great.